Did you know that elements are like people and have different personalities? A few elements are very shy and like to be left alone, while other elements are social and like to hang out with friends. Helium and neon are examples of elements that prefer to be alone. However, many elements, such as carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen, are social and prefer to be with other elements. Let's see how elements hang out together to build molecules and compounds. When the social atoms and elements hang out together, they might link up to form a molecule. A molecule is comprised of at least two atoms joined together by a chemical bond. Like the letters that build different words, the atoms of elements build different molecules. Molecules can be made up of atoms from only one type of element or have atoms from more than one type of element. For example, an oxygen molecule, O2, is formed with atoms from only one type of element, oxygen. A carbon monoxide molecule, CO, the poisonous gas emitted from the tailpipe of your car, is made from two different elements bonded together, carbon and oxygen. A compound is made up of a group of molecules. Water is a compound as it is a group of individual H2O molecules. Compounds can be further classified by the type of chemical bond, including ionic, such as NaCl, or covalent, such as water, or by whether the compound is a pure substance, pure water, or a mixture, ocean water. There are two main types of chemical bonds that hold molecules together, ionic and covalent. Ionic. The easiest way to tell whether a bond is ionic or covalent is to determine whether or not the compound conducts electricity when dissolved in pure water. If it conducts electricity, it is ionic. This means that when it is mixed with water, the molecule breaks into ions or charged particles. Covalent. Covalent molecules do not conduct electricity when dissolved in water, and, in fact, many don't even dissolve in water. A covalent bond means that electrons being shared by the constituent atoms in the molecule. Open your kitchen cupboards. Do you see any compounds hanging out in there? If you're like me, I'm sure a bag of salty potato chips is in there somewhere. Did you know that the salt on your potato chips is actually an ionic compound made up of sodium chloride molecules? The sodium chloride molecule is made up of two elements, sodium and chlorine. Perhaps you have a box of cookies in your cupboard as well. Next time you eat cookies, you should say to yourself, "This sucrose sure tastes great." Sugar, sucrose, is a covalent molecule built from 12 carbon atoms, 22 hydrogen atoms, and 11 oxygen atoms. A pure substance is made up of only one compound or element, while a mixture has two or more compounds and/or elements that are mixed together, but do not form chemical bonds with each other. All the components involved in a mixture keep their own chemical identities. For example, if you mix a bunch of pennies, dimes, and quarters in a bowl, you get a mixture of coins. These different coins do not form a chemical bond and keep their own separate identities. If you need to, you can separate the pennies, nickels, and dimes into piles. A chemical example of a mixture is sodium chloride, NaCl, and water. When you mix these two compounds, they do not form new chemical bonds. You can separate the compounds by boiling off the water. If you collect the steam and allow it to condense, you will have pure water, and the salt, NaCl, will be left behind. To sum it all up, elements are made up of one type atom and cannot be broken down any further. Molecules are made up of atoms that are chemically bound together and can either be made from one type of atom, like H2, or several types of atoms, like CH3Cl. The bonds in molecules can either be ionic or covalent, meaning their compounds, groups of molecules, can be classified as either ionic or covalent as well. Pure substances contain only one type of compound per element. Mixtures are composed of two or more compounds and/or elements that do not form chemical bonds when mixed together.